it is I think, the quintessential question, because I think in many ways, many of us, not everybody, but many of us have moved beyond, sitting in the back of the bus and things that are very obviously racist, white sheets, those sort of things. Most people are, really abhorred by that. But what we haven't accepted as a society is the difference between those two terms. Is that, if you were offering jobs and you wanted to enhance, that was your goal, to enhance diversity, one might say, well, we have a job to be equal to everyone. And so as long as we offer this opportunity to everybody, that we've done our part. However, if you're looking at the pool and you look at these candidates available to you, and you have one group of candidates, A, who is overrepresented in the group, and B, have never had the opportunity of learning about the system, your system, never had the opportunity to have others before them to expose them to what that's like. And now you're trying to compare them on exactly the same basis. Right? And I'll add to that is that the educational exposure, meaning the schools that they were permitted to attend and the limitations thereof, have caused them to now be down here. Whereas the other members of that pool may be here because they've naturally had the privilege of having those experiences that have been very much far above this group of individuals. And so now you're offering the same opportunity, and now you say, well, I'm going to judge them only on pure merit, as we define merit to be, and most of the time that is quantitatively measured. And if you choose the non-minority person, we'll say, and feel like you've done your job, and you say, well, it's equitable. It's not really equitable, because of the fact that's what systemic racism does, is that it creates this situation of inequitable resources that are so deep and so far beyond the scope that if one wants to actually create equity, you have to take those things into consideration in order to create equity. And it isn't a matter of saying that, well, I'm just going to take you because you're Black or because you're Hispanic. It is to say that, A, I intentionally want to have the diversity that is representative of the group that I want, and I'm creating an environment that is rich with different perspectives, so that brings value to the organization in and of itself. Secondly, is that if you're taking someone and you recognize that, well, they haven't had as much exposure or experience as I would like, is that you're willing to say, I'm going to bring this person with a purpose for mentoring them to become, because that's part of the equity that you are creating. And it's big. I admit, it's not an easy thing, and it's not so simple as to say, boom, bring you in the door. But it is a situation that you have to decide you're going to take that on. I think if that were taken on by more entities, we would have a quicker, conversion to a more equitable situation, because everybody would be taking on a little brother or a little sister, basically, to create that. And it really does in some ways require deep thought about, in every situation, what are you thinking? Equality is everybody gets exactly the same, but equity is everybody comes up to the same level, which means some are going to require 2 steps and others are going to require 1 step. That's the simple piece of it.